Wilt advisors have used the
and HBO's Big Little Lies, but last night's Golden Globes were more about the message.
The evening began with some dark humor, courtesy of host Seth Meyers.
For the male nominees in the room tonight, this is the first time in 3 months it won't be terrifying to hear your name read out loud.
And there were specific jokes aimed at both Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey. The issue of sexual harassment in Hollywood hung over the entire evening, with comments by many of those accepting and presenting awards. No comments had more impact than those delivered by Oprah Winfrey.
Their time is up.
Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Golden Globes in Beverly Hills.
The president's former chief strategist, Steve Bannon, has apologized for comments that appear in that tell-all White House book, Fire and Fury, days after they were first reported. Political analyst Greg Valliere.
It's quite possible that people leaned on Bannon or that he realized what damage he did with his quotes and decided to try to undo it. Unfortunately for him, I think it's a little late.
And Bannon says his quote calling Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with a Russian lawyer treasonous was actually about campaign chair Paul Manafort. After a slew of weather delays and cancellations, a burst water pipe at New York's Kennedy Airport created a flood, power outage, and shut down a terminal for 6 hours. This woman was among thousands of stranded passengers.
Customs, everything just had to come to a standstill because there's a load of water that's down there. They're trying to clean it up, and it's a mess.
Some Apple stockholders are wondering if the company's iPhones are hurting children's mental health. We get more live from CBS's Vicki Barker.
New York-based JANA Partners and the California State Teachers Retirement System together control about $2 billion worth of Apple stock. Now they're calling on the iPhone maker to take action to curb smartphone addiction in children. More and more studies are documenting the damage done to young minds and psyches. At the same time, some Silicon Valley insiders have begun to acknowledge just how many gadgets, apps, and social media sites are actually designed to be addictive. Peter?
It's a rock classic. The man you hear playing flute there on Nights in White Satin has died. Moody Blues founding member Ray Thomas. Thomas's label says he died suddenly late last week. Ray Thomas was 76. The Mega Millions and Powerball jackpots had huge winners this past weekend for nearly $1 billion combined. This man is at Port Richey, Florida, at the store that sold the Mega Millions winner.
Lightning only strikes, once, they say, but we're in the lightning capital of the world, so try it.
New Hampshire had the Powerball winner. S&P futures down, too. This is CBS News.
Presented by Beauty Rest. When you sleep better, you run farther, lift harder, bike longer. But to sleep better, you need a Beauty Rest. Find a retailer at beautyrestretailers.com.
For life's aches and pains, choose Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray. It works fast, and it's easy to use. Designed to work odor-free in all those remote areas. It works here. It's odor-free here. It works here. Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray. Fast-acting, easy-to-use, odor-free pain relief for all those remote areas. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and other fine retailers.
There it is, the brand spanking new Holy Mother of Awesome 4K Ultra HD TV. With a gazillion pixels of super crisp resolution, you can see it in your living room. And then, you see the price. Your hopes are officially dashed. Don't let those big box retailers give you static. Swing by Rent-A-Center or go to rentacenter.com and get the big brands you want for small payments you can afford. All without credit. Rent-A-Center. Big brands. Small payments. Rental purchase transactions. See store for details.
Last night at Cape Canaveral.
3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
A Falcon 9 rocket lit up the sky and delivered a secret satellite known only as Zuma to orbit. SpaceX hopes to fly a monster rocket there later this month. Israel is taking steps against a worldwide boycott movement it considers a serious threat.
Israel says members of 20 international groups that support a boycott against the Jewish state will be banned from entering the country. The government said it's part of the struggle against the incitement and lies of the boycott organizations, which seek to delegitimize the state of Israel. Among the organizations targeted is an American Quaker group, which has won a Nobel Peace Prize. Robert Berger, CBS News, Jerusalem.
And I'm Peter King, CBS News.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? I'm Jim O'Connor, independent life insurance agent specializing in term life insurance. There's been a price war between the major life insurance companies. If you've had your term life policy more than 2 years, you may be paying too much. For example, a male age 45, non-tobacco user issue preferred best, $1 million of coverage is only $56 a month guaranteed level for 10 years. Or a male age 50, non-tobacco user issue preferred best, $500,000 of coverage is only $91 a month guaranteed level for 20 years. The life insurance industry is going through exciting changes. Make sure you're not paying too much for your term insurance. For new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote. 800-799-0903. That's 800-799-0903. Don't pay too much for your term insurance. Call 800-799-0903 or visit my website at term22.com. That's term22.com. Rates based on standard underwriting and may vary by state.
Hilliard Lyons Wealth Advisors have used the following strategies to help their clients maximize tax savings. Check your investment portfolio to determine which securities may be sold to harvest losses and offset gains. Maximize contributions to 401ks and IRAs. Those ages 50 and over should take advantage of the extra $1,000 contribution to an IRA or $6,000 contribution to a 401k plan. Make cash gifts to family and friends. In 2017, the maximum amount that an individual can give without incurring a gift tax is $14,000, while married couples can give $28,000. Donate appreciated assets such as stock or real estate to nonprofit organizations. Tax planning is never one size fits all. Give Dan Fouch's team, Sam Dickinson or Brian Basinger, a call at 270-651-2663 to ensure you are taking full advantage of all appropriate year-end tax saving opportunities. As always, consult with your tax advisor. Investment counseling since 1854. Securities offered by JJB Hilliard, WL Lyons LLC, member NYSE, SIPC, and FINRA. Investing in securities involves risks.
Do you drop your change in the bottom of your purse? Did you know that loose change could help someone struggling to pay their electric bill? The Glasgow EPB has partnered with Community Relief for a new roundup program. By agreeing to have your EPB bill rounded to the next highest dollar, the change will be provided to Community Relief to help the less fortunate here in our community. Your spare pennies can make a huge difference for those struggling to pay for their vital electricity. If you're interested in the program, please call the Glasgow EPB at 651-8341.
7 minutes after 6 o'clock now at WCLU. Waking up with a temperature reading of 36 degrees. We have Hart County schools closed this morning. We have Caverna on a 1-hour delay. We better see what Ray Stajic has to say about all this morning.
Front coming through with low pressure, and both of those things combining to give us a chilly rain today. We'll hold upper 30s most likely all day. Steadiest rain this morning, showers for the afternoon. So certainly going to be a little slow on the roadways. Take it easy out there. Overnight tonight, fog in, chance of showers down to 32 degrees. Now, heads up if there are wet road surfaces. Maybe a little bit of black ice out there. Patchy morning drizzle around tomorrow morning. Then, along with the fog, once again, could mean more slow travel. Then cloudy in the afternoon up to 46. How about this? Hang on a second. Wednesday, considerably cloudy, low 60s. Thursday afternoon, rain showers, low 60s. And then periods of rain Friday, highs in the low 50s. Going to get colder again, though, by the weekend. I'm Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. We've put about 2/100 of an inch of rain in the bucket in the early morning hours today, and there's still more falling out there. It will add up, albeit slowly. I'm looking at the WCLU constant coverage and studio radar screen, and there's really nothing out there that's going to last a real long period of time. It's not very heavy, but it's just going to kind of sprinkle on us through about most of the morning. As I said, we've had 2/100 of an inch of rain so far. The the barometer is at 30.04. Humidity is at 79% of saturation. Winds are out of the northwest at about 7 miles an hour. 36 degrees. Round one of local news in the newsroom. Here's WCLU News Director Angela Briggs. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Henry. And as Henry did say, Hart County schools are closed today, and Caverna schools are running on a 1-hour delay. A recent session of the Barron County Grand Jury's returned several indictments. 31-year-old Justin Aaron Overfelt of Park City was indicted on 2 counts, 1 possession of a controlled substance and 1 first and 1/3 degree. Barron County Sheriff's Deputy Rodney Sponhouse testified. 25-year-old James Dalton Wyatt of Glasgow was indicted on 10 total counts. 2 counts each of fleeing or evading police, wanton endangerment, speeding, reckless driving, and improper passing. Glasgow Police Officer Zane Greer testified in the case. 32-year-old Dustin Ray Trobaugh of Glasgow was indicted on 4 counts: possession of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, failure to produce insurance card, and rear license plate not illuminated. 34-year-old James Brian Smith of Louisville was indicted on 4 counts: possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, promoting contraband, carrying a concealed deadly weapon, and possession of marijuana. 45-year-old Antoinette Yvette Jones of Glasgow was indicted on 7 counts: possession of a controlled substance, tampering with physical evidence, theft by unlawful taking, drug paraphernalia, public intoxication, possession of marijuana, and drinking alcohol in a public place. Glasgow Police Officer Zane Greer testified. He also testified in the case against 46-year-old Jerry Houchins and 44-year-old Melissa Emerton, both of Glasgow. Each were indicted on 1 count of theft by unlawful taking, over $500 but under $10,000. All individuals were allowed to remain on a current bond. Remember, an indictment's an accusation only, and all individuals should be considered as innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. The Glasgow City Council will meet tonight in regular session, 7 o'clock, in the City Council chambers in downtown Glasgow. Included on tonight's agenda, the Director of the Parks and Recreation, Eddie Furlong, will address the council and give an update on the Parks and Recreation Group's master plan. Police Chief Guy Howie will talk to the council and give them an update on the status of the enforcement of the city's new parking ordinance. City Attorney Rich Alexander is expected to address the council regarding the recent First Amendment and free speech issues. And there's also an ordinance that would amend the city's business regulations, which does involve the occupational tax. Councilmember Marna Kirkpatrick's also sponsored a resolution relating to mayoral board appointments, which would mean the council members could ask anyone up for a board appointment to come to the council meeting. Again, that meeting will begin tonight, 7 o'clock in downtown Glasgow. You can also catch that meeting live on Watch WCLU and also WCLUradio.com, as well as our Facebook page. From the Kentucky Associated Press, authorities say a man died in police custody after being found disoriented and barefoot behind a Kentucky home and dressed in only light clothing despite the cold temperatures. State police release says that in a state police release, they say they were responding to a report of an attempted break-in early last week and found 37-year-old Charles Yankee. The release says that despite the cold temperatures, he had on no shoes, was wearing only light clothing, and was confused and disoriented. They put the man in a patrol car. Shortly thereafter, he slumped over and stopped breathing. Officers did perform CPR. He was pronounced dead at a local hospital. His body's now been taken to the medical examiner's office in Louisville. News outlets report state police are handling the investigation since Yankee died in the custody of Elizabethtown Police. And a judge has delayed the trial of a man charged with killing a 7-year-old girl and changed the venue. Judge Janet Crocker ruled Friday the trial for Timothy Madden will be held in Hardin County instead of Allen County, and that it won't begin on February 26th as scheduled. Crocker set a hearing on February 13th to discuss a new trial date. Madden faces charges of murder, kidnapping, first-degree, rape, first-degree, and sodomy in the November 2015 death of Gabby Doolin. Doolin was found dead in a wooded area near Allen County Scottsville High School, where a youth football game involving her brother was taking place. Travis Locke, Madden's attorney, argued that pre-trial publicity prevented Madden from receiving a fair trial in Allen County. And here is Amy Bingham with this week's View from the Hill.
It's been a fixture on WKU's campus for more than 50 years.
It was state-of-the-art in '67. It was fantastic. We were as good as you could be back then.
And except for some exterior touch-ups, nothing has changed.
This really is a classic icon of what the '60s was like. The whole shape of the building, the old-style seats.
That is, until now. The show Musica is an opportunity to showcase a brand new sound system that had become almost non-existent inside the dome.
When we did need the sound system, we just sort of wince and hold our breath and hope that people didn't complain too much.
The new system was made possible from a 2016 grant for $30,000 from the WKU Sisterhood.
Having an upgrade to that seemed like the first bite that you could take that would be really substantial and satisfying, yet wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg.
Got the The planetarium has seen an increase in visitors over the last few years, especially last summer, with all the interest surrounding the solar eclipse. Reporting for WCLU, I'm Amy Bingham.
6:15 a.m. on this marvelous Monday morning, 36 degrees.
Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
The Glasgow EPB is on Facebook and Twitter. Be the first to know when the EPB makes improvements such as new channels or new services. Wondering what's going on during an outage? The EPB provides constantly updated information that you can receive via Twitter on your cell phone. Plus, learn great new tips to lower your bill. On Facebook, just search for Glasgow Electric Plant Board and click the like button at the top right. On Twitter, search for the Glasgow EPB, then follow us and have updates linked to your cell phone. The Glasgow EPB, bringing you the future fast.
Hello.
That'll be $349.07. Sir, I can't take that, and that's
And its operators, Matt Jones and Drew Franklin, caused harm to Higgins' family and business by sharing Higgins' personal and business information about his roofing company, WeatherGuard, online and on their radio broadcast. The suit calls for an award of damages in excess of $75,000. Attorneys for Higgins argue that he would face substantial obstacles to a fair trial in Kentucky in a brief opposition to the motion filed by KSR and Jones and Franklin. Higgins was a member of the officiating crew when UK lost to North Carolina in the 2017 Elite Eight. In the days after the game, Higgins received death threats from fans, and the social media pages for his business were crashed with bad reviews and comments. The lawsuit states Jones and Franklin repeatedly referenced Higgins, his business, and the comments and reviews made by fans on radio broadcasts and online stories. After reviewing the complaint and the affidavits, it's clear that none of the defendants are domiciled in Nebraska or exhibit constant and pervasive affiliations with the state, the judge wrote. Now, while the show is available for download in Nebraska and the website is accessible in Nebraska, the connections alone are insufficient for general jurisdiction. Jones and Franklin sought for dismissal of the lawsuit in November. In a Twitter post in October, Jones said the lawsuit was frivolous and without any legal merit whatsoever. U.S. District Court in Eastern Kentucky will determine the outcome. Tennessee health officials say 3 children have died from the flu. Department of Health spokesperson Bill Christian told the media 2 deaths were recorded in East Tennessee, 1 in Middle Tennessee. He says the state typically sees 2 or 3 pediatric flu deaths each flu season, though 15 were recorded back in 2009. Christian said flu activity is widespread, and officials are urging everyone over 6 months old to get the flu shot. Physicians in multiple locations have reported an increase of patients presenting flu-like symptoms since the season began. Can increasing the cigarette tax by $1 save lives and improve Kentucky's budget woes? Well, that's what the majority of Kentucky voters say in a new poll from the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky. When learning about the specific revenue and health benefits of a $1 per pack increase in the cigarette tax, 7 out of 10 voters polled said they were in favor. Tanya Change with the American Heart Association in Kentucky says the increase will lower smoking rates, especially among pregnant women and youth smokers who are most susceptible to tax increases.
It needs to be a significant increase to offset industry practices around discounting and price promotions. Anything much less than $1, the industry could easily offer coupons and discounts so that individuals would not automatically feel the increase in the tax.
It's estimated that a cigarette tax increase of $1 would raise about $250 million a year and prevent some 20,000 kids from picking up the habit. Kentucky has the second highest smoking rate in the country and is ranked 43rd among states for tobacco tax rates. An increased cigarette tax would also help reduce health care costs associated with tobacco use, which Chang says are nearly $2 billion a year in Kentucky.
Out of that, about $589 million is attributed to the Medicaid program. If we are successful in obtaining a $1 increase in the tobacco tax over a 5-year period, we're looking at a savings in Medicaid alone of about $6 million.
Chang notes that support for the increase was across all party lines and regions of the state. The poll found a majority favored the increase as the best way to address the state's $150 million budget deficit, as opposed to increasing the sales tax or applying the sales tax to groceries or other currently non-tax services. And in local 911 activity, 3 field fires, one on Veterans Outer Loop, one on Old Bowling Green Road, and the other on Coral Hill Road. Glasgow Fire Department, Cave City, Highsville, and East Barron volunteer fire departments all responded. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. 6:20 a.m., 36 degrees right now in downtown Glasgow. Keep in mind, Hart County students are out of school today. Caverna, no such luck. You're just running 1 hour late.
BR Tire. We're always on call, and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
Nothing comes before coffee.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
That's why we're introducing a whole new line of espresso drinks from McCafe. Nothing comes before coffee.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
That's why we're introducing a whole new line of espresso drinks from McCafe.
News Network, I'm Ed Huckleberry. The state labor cabinet says it saved Kentucky companies $434,000 in potential fines by conducting 5 on-site visits last month. As a result of the free inspections, also known as consultative surveys, the cabinet helped those companies correct 62 serious violations. The cabinet says the surveys are an effort to increase workplace safety by improving injury and illness rates. A popular restaurant in Harrison County went up in flames Sunday afternoon. Paula's Family Restaurant in Cynthiana was gutted by fire. Smoke and flames could be seen for miles. Damon Palmer lives in Cynthiana and tells WKYT.
The minute you look out your window and it looks like the whole town's on fire. You know, you just look at it and you can't believe what you're seeing, and it's right in front of you.
The restaurant was closed at the time of the fire and no one was there when it began. Fire officials say they weren't able to save much and needed help from other departments to put it out. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Senator Rand Paul says he's recovering well from the November assault that left him with broken ribs. He tells CBS's Face the Nation on Sunday that he's concerned, though, about the kind of violence taking place in America.
I just don't think of any kind of motivation or justification, whether it's political or personal, to attack someone who's unaware from behind in their own yard.
He says his own attack and the attack on congressional members practicing baseball this past June have made an impression on him and other lawmakers when it comes to violence. Another Kentucky lawmaker says he will not seek another term in office. Democratic State Representative Steve Riggs of Louisville says he will leave the legislature after more than 25 years in office. Riggs is the chair of the House Local Government Committee and says the committee passed many new laws to improve cities and counties. I'm Ed Huckleberry.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Discover Rio's best-kept secret, the wine cellar. This Vegas hidden gem showcases over 10,000 wine bottles from around the world. Chippendales is the ultimate Las Vegas girls' night out, nightly at the Rio, 8:30 and 10:30. Dine, dance, and drink 51 stories above Sin City at Voodoo Rooftop Nightclub. Flair bartenders keep the party going. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
There's a new tool that's designed to help keep you safe from scams. Hi, I'm Rihanna Smith-Hamblin with the Better Business Bureau. The new BBB app is a free tool that lets you vet businesses in your area. You can research the company's rating, BBB accreditation status, and even get directions right to the company's front door. The app is also designed to stop scammers in their tracks by sending scam alerts right to your phone. You can download the BBB app in the Apple Store and on Google Play.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com.
Local news time from WCLU is 6:24. We have a temperature reading of 36 degrees. We hope that that's about as low as we go because that'll keep us above any real travel problems here this morning. But just stay tuned. We'll keep you posted, and as listeners let us know of problems that they have, we'll share those and get where we need to be safely this morning. In area funeral announcements at this hour, Mary Margaret Pace, age 94, of Glasgow, died Sunday at NHC Healthcare Facility. She was the daughter of the late Bluford and Tally Barry Grimes. She was a retired school teacher and a librarian with the Glasgow school systems and a member of the Glasgow Baptist Church. She is survived by her husband of 72 years, James Trigg Pace, two sons, Jimmy Reed Pace and wife Donna, and Douglas Grimes Pace and wife Paula. 4 grandchildren survive as well. Services for Mary Margaret Pace will be Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home. Burial will be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be from 4 until 7 p.m. on Tuesday at the funeral home. Renee Waddell, age 51, of Glasgow, died Saturday at the Medical Center in Bowling Green. Renee was the office manager for United Propane Gas Company. She is survived by her husband, Timmy Waddell, a daughter, Holly Scott, and husband, Nick, of Bowling Green. 2 grandchildren, Ryan and Noah Scott. Her stepfather, Don Cook, of Heistville. Funeral services for Renee Waddell will be at 1 o'clock on Thursday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial is to be in the Heistville Cemetery. Visitation begins at 3 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. George Gillock Austin, age 89, of Glasgow, died Saturday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. Mr. Austin was a farmer and was active in the Glasgow Senior Center. In earlier years, he attended Indian Creek Baptist Church at Flippin, but more recently had attended the Dover Baptist Church at Mount Hermon. He was a U.S. Army veteran serving in the Korean War. He is survived by a son, Alan Austin, of Glasgow, a daughter, Angela Mayers Dahl, of Alaska. 5 grandchildren, Stephen Mayers, Ryan Mayers, Zachary Austin, Taylor Austin, and Sidney Taylor. 3 great-grandchildren, Brooklyn Mayers, Eliana Ramsey, and Ori Austin. 1 brother, Joe Austin of Glasgow, a sister-in-law, Dorothy Austin of Glasgow, and several nieces and nephews. Funeral services for George Gillock Austin will be at 11 o'clock on Wednesday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial is to be in the Neal Cemetery at Flippin. Visitation will be tomorrow from 4 until 8 p.m. and Wednesday morning until time for services. Patricia Ann Somerlade, age 69, of Glasgow, formerly of Ashland, Ohio, died Friday. She was attending the Glasgow Baptist Church. Her life was in service to Jesus Christ and the Christian faith, and she lived that faith by example for her children and her grandchildren in the hopes that her family would be reunited with her in heaven. She is survived by 3 daughters, Beth Ann Pianowski, Rebecca Lovell, and Dawn Somerlade, 8 grandchildren, Danielle Howell, Courtney Humphrey, Jessica Pianowski, Leanne Bernard, James C. Pianowski, Chelsea Howard, Haley Howell, and Carly Pianowski, and 8 great-grandchildren. 1 sister, Karen Baer, her Chihuahua Angel Marie. Services for Patricia Ann Somerlade will be Wednesday at 10 at Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, with cremation to follow. Visitation from 5 until 8 tomorrow at the funeral home. Rex Eugene Shorty Wood, age 85, of Fountain Run, died Saturday at the Cal Turner Extended Care Facility in Scottsville. He was a member of the Tracy United Methodist Church. In his earlier days, Mr. Wood was a truck driver. Later in life, he was a sawyer for Sproul Lumber Company, where he retired. He was also a farmer throughout his life. Survivors include 2 daughters, Eva Klein and husband Carl of Scottsville, and Annette Eaton and husband Jeff of Fountain Run. 5 grandchildren, Amy Graves and husband Lucian, Andrew Klein and wife Laura, Adam Klein, Brian Eaton and wife Emily, and Benjamin Eaton, and 5 great-grandchildren. Funeral services for Rex Eugene Shorty Wood will be held Wednesday at 1 o'clock at the Fountain Run Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Tracy Cemetery. Visitation begins at 3 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon at the Fountain Run Funeral Home. Donations are requested to the Tracy Cemetery. Ellis Duval, age 92, of Annetta, died Saturday at Twin Lakes Regional Hospital. He was a mechanic and a construction worker and a member of the Jock United Baptist Church. He is survived by his son Ellis Randy Duval of Annetta, 6 daughters, Barbara Scott of Texas, Peggy Petratus of Louisville, Rose Mary Goins of Bee Spring, Patricia P.G. Bratcher of Litchfield, Vanda Rice of Owensboro, and Anna Majors of Caneyville. 12 grandchildren also survive and several great-grandchildren. Services for Ellis Duval will be at noon tomorrow at Jock United Baptist Church. Burial in the church cemetery. Visitation begins today at 1 p.m. at the Patton Funeral Home in Brownsville. Dorothy A. Dunning, age 89, of Bowling Green, died Saturday at Hospice House of Southern Kentucky with her family at her side. Dorothy was an employee at Firestone and Southland Manufacturing, a foster grandparent, and a member of the Lehman Avenue Church of Christ. She is survived by 3 sons, Ray Dunning, Tommy Dunning, and Kelvin Dunning, 2 daughters, Judy Rayna and Debbie Boss, 14 grandchildren, 24 great-grandchildren, 10 great-great-grandchildren. A sister, Barbara Whitaker, several nieces and nephews also survive. Services for Dorothy A. Dunning will be at 11 o'clock Thursday at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home's Bowling Green Chapel. Burial in the Bethel Cemetery. Visitation begins at 11 o'clock Wednesday at the funeral home. Alternate expressions of sympathy can be made to Hospice of Southern Kentucky. William S. Bill Matney, age 90, of Glasgow, died Saturday at NHC Healthcare. He was retired from GE in Louisville and a member of the Hillside Missionary Baptist Church in Glasgow. He is survived by a sister, Anna Mae Williams of Louisville, and several nieces and nephews. Gary Williams, Kenneth Williams, Dennis Williams, Terry A. Williams, Bonnie Sue Embry, Ricky Emberton, Jeff Emberton, Joan Geralds, Linda Carmen, Jerry Webster, Rita Lewis, and Brenda Wilson, and several great-nieces and nephews. Services for William S. Bill Matney will be at 2 o'clock on Wednesday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, with burial to be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be tomorrow from 5 until 8 p.m. Funeral services for David Lewis Sneed, age 76, of Munfordville, will be today at 1 at Seagull Funeral Home. Burial in the Memory Park Cemetery. Visitation begins this morning at 8 a.m. Service for Daniel Oyer, age 49, of Glasgow, will be at 2 o'clock today at the Lighthouse Church in Horse Cave. Burial to be in the church cemetery. Visitation begins at 10:30 this morning. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home is in charge. Services for Betty Bunch, age 65, of Bowling Green, will be at 3 o'clock tomorrow at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home's Bowling Green Chapel, with visitation from 11 o'clock until 8 today, and after 9 o'clock tomorrow at the funeral home. Funeral services for Bertha Mae Dilly, age 81, of Horse Cave, will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday at Wynn Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Larimore Cemetery. Visitation begins tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Funeral services for Mabel Bryant Carter Pettigo, age 80, of Glasgow, will be Tuesday at 3 p.m. at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial will be in the Happy Valley Memorial Gardens. Visitation begins at noon on Tuesday. Funeral services for Robert Bruce Wheeler, age 55, of Glasgow, will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 1 p.m. Funeral services for Dixie McDonald Handy, age 94, of Glasgow, will be at 11 o'clock this morning at the Wynn Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Honey, Have you ever tried to picture...
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
.35 degrees at 6:35 on WCLU. Let's turn to local sports. High school basketball tonight. The Glasgow boys host Greene County for a JV varsity doubleheader at Scotty Gym that begins at 6 p.m. tonight. You can join Joe Myers, Larry Alexander, and Bruce Tribute for live coverage of the varsity game at about 7:15 on 1490 WCLU and online at playwclu.com. In girls' games tonight, Barron County welcomes Thomas Nelson, and Hart County visits Central Hardin. In girl-boy doubleheaders, Caverna travels to Adair County, and Monroe County hosts Taylor County. That's a check of local sports.
Fall has officially arrived, and while the cooler weather will put an end to the battle against the summer heat, the battle with bugs will wage on. Pests like roaches, ants, and even termites are a year-round threat here in south-central Kentucky. But luckily, you can trust the experts at Arrow Exterminators to keep your home pest-free inside and out. You can feel good knowing that Arrow Exterminators uses the most environmentally responsible treatments available today, and they back all services with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So whether you are seeing ants in the kitchen or just want to set up preventative service, you can trust the professionals at Arrow Exterminators to keep your home pest-free. Schedule a free whole home evaluation today. Call 888-GO-ARROW or arrowexterminators.com. That's 888-GO-ARROW or arrowexterminators.com. It's not just pest control, it's Arrow Exterminators Pest Control.
6:36 now at WCLU and 35 degrees. Let's drive with caution out there this morning. We'll check in with Ray Staging here just in a second from the Weather Channel. Just got an updated road conditions report out of District 4. Chris Jesse in the area is a little bit north of us, but his road condition reports that while most road surfaces are wet, there are still icy patches on various routes throughout District 4 over the past couple of hours. There have been some reports of incidents on Highway 313 between Radcliffe and I-65 this morning, and with the Bluegrass Parkway and US 62 between Elizabethtown and Bardstown. Now, as you can observe, that's a little bit further north, and as we talked earlier, we're on that line, and as long as we're on that line, we've got to be very, very cautious. As mentioned in the advisory before the weather event, motorists should realize current visual observation can be deceptive with respect to determining ice versus the wet pavement. It's very tricky. Our areas particularly at risk are low-lying stretches and northward-facing hills, so be aware of that. Some problems in the District Number 4 of the Highway Department there between Radcliffe and I-65, and then over on the Bluegrass Parkway between E-Town and Bardstown. Be aware of that and drive with caution. What else you got this morning, Ray Stajic?
Front coming through with low pressure, and both of those things combining to give us a chilly rain today. We'll hold upper 30s most likely all day. Steadiest rain this morning, showers for the afternoon. So certainly going to be a little slow on the roadways. Take it easy out there. Overnight tonight, fog in, chance of showers down to 32 degrees. Now heads up if there are wet road surfaces. Maybe a little bit of black ice out there. Patchy morning drizzle around tomorrow morning. Then along with the fog, once again, could mean more slow travel than cloudy in the afternoon up to 46. How about this? Hang on a second. Wednesday, considerably cloudy, low 60s. Thursday afternoon, rain showers, low 60s. And then periods of rain Friday, highs in the low 50s. Going to get colder again, though, by the weekend. I'm Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Let's look at the current conditions here this morning. Where did I put those current conditions? The barometer is it's right out here. It's right out the back door. I just want to make sure I get the right information there to you. The barometer is at 30.07. The winds are out of the southwest at around 7 miles an hour. And we're at 79% humidity, 35 degrees at WCLU.
If you find
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community. The TJ Health Pavilion is home to over 35 family and specialty physicians, outpatient services center, the TJ Urgent Care, and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Remember, no school in Hart County today. Remember, Caverna schools are 1 hour late, and that sort of tracks with the way the weather seems to be a little more slippery a little bit further north. So let's just be aware of that and plan accordingly. Now let's also check out the birthdays. That's right, not the archives, but the birthdays. And the folks who make it fun are the folks at Ralphie's Fun Center. That's what they focus on.
You have 1 hour. That's it. You and your group must escape, find clues, solve the puzzle, and escape the room on time. It's the coolest new attraction at Ralphie's Fun Center, Superhero Adventures Escape Room. And you get to be the superhero. Test your powers and have fun doing it. You can book your party for the Superhero Adventures Escape Room at Ralphie's Fun Center by going online to ralphiesfuncenter.com. That's ralphiesfuncenter.com or call 629-GAME. Will you be the next superhero?
Well, let's see. What did I do with the, there it is, the birthday sound effect here today. Let me shift a couple of things out of my lap here because I got to tell you about some very special folks here today. First of all, we have just learned that Marjorie Palmore, Marjorie is 77 years young today. She also has a nephew, Tim Coulter. Tim is 60 today, so Tim, have a gong, sir. We also have Cassie Harbison, Mary Wilkinson, Deborah Jackson Depp, Alex Miller, Linda Hayes, Sarah Dickerson Harlow, Malcolm Moss, Dr. Rhonda Underwood. Dr. Rhonda, your friend Charlotte called up to wish you a happy birthday today. Tanya Moore Harper, Danny Whitlow. We have one anniversary today. That would be for Cody and Caitlin Hogue. But there's room for more, so y'all let us know. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, online, WCLUradio.com. Let's drive carefully this morning and come back and remember the archive.
We pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Tell you about Laura Lee Williams. Miss Laura Lee Williams is having a birthday today. Also, I want to tell you about Justin Browning. Fine young man, Justin Browning, with a birthday today. We are up to date, I'm telling you. So now that we're current, we can go backwards and check out the archives. Yes, it's sort of a fun way to put everything in perspective. It's easier to figure out where you're going if you know where you've been, and a lot of folks did a lot before us. Tony Hogan Health Clinic is a proud sponsor of the archives, helping to learn about our past, as are the folks at Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. Stand by.
The medical field has advanced tremendously over the last few decades, but for patients, it becomes more and more difficult to get an appointment with your primary care provider. However, the Tony Hogan Health Clinic offers an alternative, more old-fashioned, laid-back approach. So it's no coincidence they're located in the Mars Medical Building, a place that's always been known for its patient-first mentality. Whether it's a walk-in or a scheduled visit, Tony Hogan, nurse practitioner, and his staff are there to make sure you get the treatment you deserve. The Tony Hogan Health Clinic, 270-651-6707. 15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto? No problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
All right, let's go down memory lane, Angela, and learn about things that got us here.
I say we take this thing back 100 years.
1918 is a good day to start. All the phones are ringing there. Maybe Mark will help us out with that, too. We do like to, this is real time for sure.
Yeah, hey, Mark, get the phone. Oh, Henry, I want to say before we get started, I want to give from the time I was a kid, I don't know if you knew Kenan Ford from Horse K, but they called him Wheels. I've heard people talk about Wheels.
Yes, I know that
Wheels
name.
this and Wheels that. And, such a good guy. He passed away over the weekend.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and I just want to, give a shout out to him. And always had a smile on his face. Was always just cool. You know what I'm saying? Just a good dude, and really hate to see him go.
Well, I'm sure we'll have more information on that, but it's always sad. It's been very busy. We've lost a whole lot of good folks here just in the last week or so.
Absolutely.
And it's just something to pause and think about for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do a little reverse here. 1918, next Sunday, the baccalaureate sermon for the graduating class of 1918 of the high school will be preached at the Christian Church. Mrs. Beulah Barrick Steen and Mrs. Alanson Trigg have arranged an excellent musical program for the services. Pretty interesting, I guess why they had baccalaureate in January, maybe the school term was a little bit shorter.
Right.
Or maybe they just said, we need to get together and get this cold weather out of our mind and have a baccalaureate service at the Christian Church, 1918. Some big names in music there for sure.
Definitely.
All right, this day in 1928, follow this story.
Okay.
Mr. and Ms. Louis Fisher made a rather remarkable auto trip Saturday. In company with Representative and Mrs. W.J. Fisher, whom they carried to Frankfort, they left here at 6 o'clock Saturday morning. They drove to Frankfort by way of Louisville, returned the same route, spending 1.5 hours in Frankfort, more than 2 hours in Louisville, and they reached home at 11:30 that night. Some drive, the writer says.
There we go.
I remember some of the older people say you didn't take somebody somewhere, you carried them there. You ever heard of some of that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I carried him over to the doctor.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that.
It's a long trip.
No
1928, going to Frankfort by way of Louisville. That's not easy to do today.
I know, that's right.
All right. 1938. Sheriff Lacey B. Doyle entered the Sampson Community Hospital this afternoon for treatment of a very seriously ulcerated eye.
Oh, wow.
That sounds bad. I don't even know what it is.
It doesn't sound good.
During his absence, the office will be carried on by his deputies with the assistance of former Sheriff Roy B. Payne and Mrs. Payne. So hopefully the affairs of the Sheriff's Department moved along nicely with Sheriff Lacey B. Doyle getting that ulcerated eye worked on.
That just sounds painful.
It does. And I'm sure it is.
I know that's right.
All right. This is the kind of thing that can happen if you're living a do-it-yourself world, but you have to be careful. This is news out of Arnett Grove, news that Mr. A.G. Cox, actually it's Master A.G. Cox, must have been a young fella. Master A.G. Cox was burned on the chest recently when his clothing was ignited when he was patching a bicycle tire.
What?
Now I feel bad because here's a young fella. He could go whining to mom and dad, I need a new tire.
Right.
I got a hold of my tire. He says, no, I'm just going to go out and patch this one. And it had a bad effect for a while. But hopefully he got over that all right. 1948, Master A.G. Cox. This day in 1958, the modern new plant of the National Wood Products in Glasgow's industrial subdivision just off of the Bowling Green Road was inspected today by a group from the Home Office in Aurora, Illinois.
They call it a subdivision.
That's right, the subdivision out there, which is, it's kind of what it is.
Right.
Anyway, it will be formally accepted, and the plant will make brush handles. It is understood that the plant is expected to start operations about March the 1st. That was a big deal back in 1958. A big brush handle factory here, and brought a lot of jobs.
See, I had no idea brush handles were made here.
Yeah, they were. It was a big operation out there for sure at National Wood Products. We have quite the industrial base around here for sure.
Had a lot of handlers.
That's right. They were handling it big time. And also, let's see, 1968, we've got news out of Casey Fork.
Where's Casey
I
Fork?
don't know. I knew you were going to ask that.
South Central Kentucky, that's where Casey Fork is.
It is. Casey Fork News. I know where Caney Fork is.
Right.
But Casey Fork, here's the news. Niall Shaw has an awfully bad sprained ankle. That's the lead story at Casey Fork.
It's near Edmonton.
Oh, okay. Well, see there, it's right out the back door.
There we go.
Mr. Buell Garman, that explains it. There's a lot of good Garman families there in the neighborhood around Edmonton. But Mr. Buell Garman had another fall and is feeling poorly. And Private Randall Garman is spending a few days with his parents, Mr. and Ms. Herbert Garman. So there we have it. A couple of bad things there in Casey Fork. A little sprain here and a little fall there. But
and they just put you on blast out in the paper when you fall.
That's exactly right. Yeah, sorry, I fell.
Nowadays, we'll just put a picture of it on Facebook.
That's right. Sprained
people can
ankle.
click like it.
1978, this was the day the Glasgow Daily Times reported that Kenneth Simmons has been elected to serve as chairman of the Barron County School Board.
That's a thankless job.
Well, it is, but I can tell you that Mr. Kenneth Simmons served with honor and served. I'm reading a note here again. Mark's giving me notes here. In other words,
he did a good job.
That's right. Kenneth Simmons is elected to the chairmanship of the Barron County School Board, and he did do an excellent job. For sure.
Mark's always tried to distract somebody.
Well, here's what he handed me a note here that says, a caller has called up and says they didn't patch tires back then, they patched inner tubes.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm just reading the story. The story said he was patching a tire.
That was a test. We wanted to see if any of our listeners would pick up on that.
Well,
did.
Obviously, very quickly they did.
We have the best listeners ever.
That's no question about it. Got to learn how to do that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he said to be corrected, Henry.
Okay, all right. I am often.
I wonder if you could get your inner tube patched out there on Calvary Drive.
Well, you could.
Sorry, Jerry.
1988. We've got this day in 1988, there was a 3-inch snow on. Y'all missed that, do you?
Yes.
A 3-inch snow fell 1988 this day. And also on the same day, Joyce Emberton was sworn in as a Monroe County Circuit Court clerk by Judge Paul Barry Jones. So, the snow didn't stop the swearing in for Ms. Everton back in 88. 1998, the 8th day of January, 20 years ago today, Freddie Travis announced his candidacy for Barron County Judge Executive.
10 years ago.
No, it was
20 years ago.
That's right. It was 20 years ago that he announced that he was going to be running for the Barron County Judge Executive. And 10 years ago, Norma Williams, the dietary supervisor at the Barron County Health Care Center, received a 2008 Midwestern District Dietary Supervisor Award.
Put that on a plaque.
At the Kentucky Association of Healthcare Facilities annual meeting in December. But they were just now getting the release on that. And that's big news there from Miss Norma Williams, and a great accolade for Barron County Healthcare back
for sure.
In 2008. It's in the archives.
It is.
It explains a few things.
It does.
Except for the tire thing.
And exactly what road that is anyway,
Yeah, that's right. But the main thing is we sometimes got to take care of ourselves by doing a little repair, fixing repair.
There we go. No matter what it is, something's getting fixed.
And that's the archives today, brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services, as well as being brought to you by the Tony Hogan Health Clinic. And we really appreciate the work of the archivists down at the Cultural Center for making sure that there's so many wonderful things to talk about, historically speaking. And, we've been talking about some of the new things that are coming up, and we're going to get a little bit deeper into that as we get close to those dates here. Thank you to our sponsors, Joseph A. Wade and Tony Hogan Health Clinic.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Let me tell you about our Good as Gold honoree today. Yes, we've got another honoree that was nominated, and we do enjoy having these nominations made for folks who are good as gold. Today, the nominee is Linda Hayes. It is Linda Hayes Day on the radio. Now, this is the form that was submitted back in December to have Linda Hayes patted on the back, and it reads as follows. This woman is one of a kind. She is unselfish. I was blessed to be adopted and loved by her like I was her own. What a nice thing to be said about you. This is from Shavanika, who sent in this particular nomination, and we're happy to oblige and make Linda Hayes good as gold today. And that she apparently was loved by this young lady that she was adopted, or that she adopted. And it's a good reason to be patted on the back for sure. So be sure to let Linda Hayes know that. From WCLU and a little taste of Texas. Now, I need to add, and I think it's a birthday today for Tommy Bobby Thomas. Is it Bobby or Bubby? Bobby, okay. It's Tommy Bobby Thomas. His aunt called up and said she wanted to wish Tommy Bobby Thomas a happy, happy birthday. So we're glad to take care of that as well.
Citizens First Mobile Banking makes your nearest branch as close as your mobile phone. It's easier than ever to access your accounts, check your balances, review transactions, and make transfers. You can even pay bills, and now you can deposit a check right from your smartphone, anytime, anywhere. If your phone is ever lost or stolen, your mobile banking tools are safely locked behind strong security. Just visit citizensfirstbank.com and learn how to take care of your accounts on the go. Mobile banking with Citizens First, wherever you are, whenever you need it.
Approval required for mobile deposit. Visit your Citizens First branch for details. Member FDIC.
Your Glasgow and Munfordville McDonald's is now hiring. Starting crew up to $9.25 an hour. You can apply at mcdonalds.com/careers or text apply to 36453. McDonald's has added some new benefits too. $100 bonus after 100 days employed and $100 referral bonus. Other great benefits include college tuition assistance, flexible schedule, and 401k. Apply today at mcdonalds.com/careers or text apply to 36453.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
Front coming through with low pressure, and both of those things combining to give us a chilly rain today. We'll hold upper 30s most likely all day. Steadiest rain this morning, showers for the afternoon. So certainly going to be a little slow on the roadways. Take it easy out there. Overnight tonight, fog in, chance of showers down to 32 degrees. Now, a heads up if there are wet road surfaces. Maybe a little bit of black ice out there. Patchy morning drizzle around tomorrow morning. Then, along with the fog, once again, could mean more slow travel. Then cloudy in the afternoon up to 46. How about this? Hang on a second. Wednesday, considerably cloudy, low 60s. Thursday afternoon, rain showers, low 60s. And then periods of rain Friday, highs in the low 50s. Going to get colder again, though, by the weekend. I'm Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
What a way to celebrate the new year.
Wants to know when McRib will be back, including Jamie, who shared that you must answer its call.
Jamie, McRib is back. You posted, and we answered.
McRib is back. Answer its call for a limited time, only at McDonald's.
Nothing comes before coffee.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
That's why we're introducing a whole new line of espresso drinks from McCafe.
Do you drop your...
Remember FDIC.
Let's see, we've had about 3/100ths of an inch of rain in the past 24 hours. Most of that came right after the midnight hour this morning. As I mentioned earlier, the road report, conditions report we got from District Number 4 just to our north shows a couple of travel problems out along the Bluegrass Parkway and Highway 62 there between E-Town and Bardstown. Another area of some spotty ice patches out on Kentucky 313 between Radcliffe and I-65. Of course, that's a little bit north of where I'm speaking, but a whole bunch of folks over on I-65 listen to us going north, and I want you to be aware of the potential to run into that on your way in that direction. 35 degrees at WCLU, and this weather update brought to you by South Central Bank.
Shouldn't financial advice focus on you? I can help you plan.
In the bottom of your purse, did you know that loose change could help someone struggling to pay their electric bill? The Glasgow EPB has partnered with Community Relief for a new Roundup program. By agreeing to have your EPB bill rounded to the next highest dollar, the change will be provided to Community Relief to help the less fortunate here in our community. Your spare pennies can make a huge difference for those struggling to pay for their vital electricity. If you're interested in the program, please call the Glasgow EPB at 651-8341.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lesenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lesenberry Insurance.
Paul Elmore is having a birthday today. I want to be sure and get Paul on the list right there. I've lost a note. Hold on. I want to remind you that today, Barron County High School Site-Based Council meets in regular session at 3:45. Also today, and then Monday the 22nd, Lego Robotics will be meeting down at the Mary Wood Weldon Library. That's an interesting program indeed. And we have coming up on Thursday, Color Me Calm. It's coloring for adults, a great way to de-stress. The class will meet at 10 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. at the Mary Wood Weldon Memorial Library. Supplies and refreshments are provided. We have a lot more things coming up as the new year gets cranked up, but we're going to come right back and play trivia here. Stay with us.
What will you begin in 2018? A big clean out of an attic or garage, or a small decluttering project?
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lesenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Hello.
That'll be $349.07. Sir, I can't take that, and that's only about $120 anyway.
But the Magic Man pays 3 times face value at Glasgow Coin and Jewelry. Watch this.
We can make that happen.
Top dollar guaranteed.
Not to be confused with Magic Mike.
You're watching WCLU's Live and Local Morning Show on all your favorite social media platforms, WCLUradio.com and EPB Channel 6.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
That's Fire Pit Spirits on Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. Call ahead at 678-BEER.
I'm going to ask the question. You provide an answer right here at WCLU, 651-9149 or 800-956-1023. I think we're moving along nicely traffic-wise this morning so far. I do want to remind you again that Hart County schools are closed and Caverna schools are going 1 hour late. And I don't know, for today, I've been sitting on a question for a while thinking, well, I don't know if anybody wants to answer that or not. And then every so often I'll say, yeah, I think I'll ask that because it's kind of an off-the-wall question. But nonetheless, I'm going to ask it and see if we're off the wall or not. Here we go, 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Where is the National Mustard Museum located? Now, you know we have museums for lots of things. I never dreamed that we had a National Mustard Museum. But there is one. Where is it? Trivia. Nope. Trivia.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
No, it's not right. Good thought, though. That'd be a good place to have one. The Mustard Museum.
Wisconsin.
I'm sorry?
Middleton, Wisconsin.
That's right. Who's it speaking?
This is Melanie Watson.
Hi, Melanie. How you doing? You sound like you're choked up on mustard.
Must have been.
Do you ever put it on sausage?
I do.
Yeah, that's an old trick for sure. Now, Melanie, according to the information on this particular trivia question that I have, if you go to the Mustard Museum in Middleton, Wisconsin, they feature 5,600 different types of mustard.
RP would want to go with me because he's the real mustard person.
He's a real mustard person, huh?
He is.
Is that a compliment, is it?
It just shows his taste buds.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, you know, I can just think that would be really fascinating to go to just to say, I've been to the Mustard Museum and I didn't know what to expect.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Melanie, and you got that there. The Mustard Museum. It probably doesn't cost a lot to get in, I wouldn't think.
Maybe you have to bring a new jar.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking though about a nice hot dog stand right outside.
There you go.
Where you can try which one appealed to you. Okay, Melanie, have a good day. Drive safely.
Thanks, Henry.
Bye-bye. Melanie Watson, that's right, it is. The Mustard Museum, which is, if you want to go to visit it, it's a fur piece from here at Middleton, Wisconsin. The Mustard Museum. It says here it's founded by a former lawyer. A former lawyer founded the Mustard Museum, which I guess he switched to running a mustard museum and quit being a lawyer, the way it reads here. We will play tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us for trivia and for keeping things cool.
CBS News Update. The 75th Golden Globe Award show is likely to be most remembered as the night Hollywood stood up to sexual harassment. Oprah Winfrey.
Take us to the time when nobody ever has to say, "Me too," again.
And there was this ironic introduction to the Best Director category from actress Natalie Portman.
And here are the all-male nominees.
CBS's Chris Martinez.
The red carpet was a sea of black. Nearly every celebrity wore black in support of Time's Up, a legal defense fund for sexual harassment victims. Meryl Streep and Amy Poehler were among several actresses to bring activists as their guests, including tennis great Billie Jean King and the founder of the Me Too movement.
The big award winners included the film 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and the HBO series Big Little Lies. Both stories focused primarily on women. CBS News Update, I'm Peter King.
Betty Turner of Glasgow had had enough.
I was on a bus trip and my crown just simply broke off. And I thought, I've got to do something different. And I knew from experience a few years back that I did not want to have a partial because they just don't work for me.
So, what'd you do?
I threw them in the garbage can. I knew that the implants would be for me.
Betty felt confident in the staff and Dr. Thurman.
I really didn't know what to expect, although they had explained in detail each phase of it. Everybody has just treated me special. And he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Begin the process of getting your dental implants from Glasgow Dental Care. Set up a no-obligation visit to learn more. Call 270-651-5939 now. Betty's already looking forward to the next bus trip.
Well, you don't have to worry about your crown breaking off.
Doctors Jim Thurman, Amy Cassidy, and Matthew Riley. Stop in at the corner of North Race and State Avenue in Glasgow.
This is WCLU Glasgow, WCLU-FM Munfordville, W253BN Glasgow, services of Royce Radio Incorporated.
Rain falling this morning, 35 degrees. Just got a call from a listener on the Star 1490 line. There is a traffic accident in the eastbound lanes of the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Parkway at the 33-mile marker, and that is in between Edmonton and Columbia. And according to the caller, the eastbound lanes are completely shut down. So reduced visibility already this morning. And then we've got some other travel issues with the temperature being very much close to the freezing mark. Let's factor that into it and realize that traffic is at a standstill, according to this caller, at the 33-mile marker eastbound on the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Parkway. So be aware of that. Let's drive with caution. We need to negotiate with care this morning to get where we need to be safely. Let's go to the newsroom for an update of local news this morning and News Director Angela Briggs. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Henry. While most road surfaces are wet, there are still icy patches on various routes throughout District 4, according to the State Transportation Cabinet. They say over the past couple of hours, there have been reports of incidents on Kentucky 313 between Radcliffe and I-65, along with the Bluegrass Parkway, and US 62 between E-Town and Bardstown. They say residential treatments from last week and spot treatments from crews have helped keep many routes from freezing. Hart County schools have decided they are closed all day today, and Caverna is going 1 hour late. A recent session of the Barron County Grand Jury's returned several indictments. 31-year-old Justin Aaron Overfelt of Park City was indicted on 2 counts, possession of a controlled substance first and third degree. 25-year-old James Dalton White of Glasgow was indicted on 10 total counts, 2 counts each of fleeing or evading police, wanton endangerment, speeding, reckless driving, and improper passing. 32-year-old Dustin Wade Trabal of Glasgow was indicted on 4 counts, possession of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, failure to produce insurance card, and rear license plate not illuminated. 34-year-old James Byron Smith of Louisville was indicted on 4 counts, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, promoting contraband, carrying a concealed deadly weapon, and possession of marijuana. 45-year-old Antoinette Yvette Jones of Glasgow was indicted on 7 counts, possession of a controlled substance, tampering with physical evidence, theft by unlawful taking, drug paraphernalia, public intoxication, possession of marijuana, and drinking alcohol in a public place. 46-year-old Jerry D. Houchins, 44-year-old Melissa Emberton, both of Glasgow, were each indicted on 1 count of theft by unlawful taking, $500 or more but under $10,000. All individuals were allowed to remain on a current bond. Remember, an indictment's an accusation only, and all individuals should be considered as innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. If you've scrolled through social media recently, you've probably seen the videos from the Glasgow Water Company showing maintenance crews working in the middle of the night to repair water line breaks in freezing temperatures. Scott Young, general manager of the Glasgow Water Company, says that despite the cold temperatures, the many main breaks they've seen recently don't actually happen when pipes freeze and bust.
You know, the ground gets extremely cold, and as the depth of that, the temperature and the depth of that permeates down through the earth tends to contract, and that moving around effect is actually what causes our main breaks. They actually do not freeze and bust. It's just the moving of the earth slightly. And then the other aspect of that is when things start to warm up, it has the same effect, and it'll move in the opposite direction.
Young's been at the Glasgow Water Company for 12 years, and he says their SCADA monitoring system tracks water pressure and tank levels across the entire system. So any break is usually evident fairly quickly. But he still encourages every customer to always report any changes you see in water pressure. And to the dozen or so maintenance workers at the Glasgow Water Company, Young said this.
Our maintenance crew is an exceptional group of individuals that do an outstanding job. And anytime that we have a situation like this past week, those guys are the camaraderie and the responsiveness that they have. I mean, they fly in there and get the job done. And the thing to keep in mind is just like today, we had a situation where we had 3 breaks that occurred basically within an hour of each other. So basically 3 crews dispatched, and the night before we had guys that were working all night, and they do an outstanding job.
You can follow the Glasgow Water Company on Facebook or go online to glasgowh2o.com. The Glasgow City Council will meet tonight in regular session, 7 o'clock in the City Council chambers in downtown Glasgow. Included on tonight's agenda, Eddie Furlong, director of the city's park system, will address the council, give them an update on the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Police Chief Guy Howard will also give the council an update on the enforcement of the city's new parking ordinance. City Attorney Rich Alexander is expected to talk to the council regarding recent First Amendment free speech issues. There's also an ordinance on the agenda that deals with the city's occupational tax. Councilmember Marna Kirkpatrick has also sponsored a resolution relating to mayoral board appointments. Her resolution would allow council members to ask anyone up for appointment to attend the council meeting that the vote will be taken. There's also going to be discussion of selection of an auditor for the Glasgow Electric Plant Board, and there is a municipal order that would appoint D.T. Froge to the Glasgow Electric Plant Board for a 4-year term effective February 1st of this year. That appointment is subject to approval of the Glasgow City Council. Again, that meeting is tonight, 7 o'clock in the City Council chambers in downtown Glasgow. You can also catch our live stream of the Glasgow City Council meeting at Watch WCLU, WCLUradio.com, and of course on WCLU Radio's Facebook page. 7:16 a.m., 35 degrees.
I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel
TJ
Bird.
Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community. The TJ Health Pavilion is home to over 35 family and specialty physicians, outpatient services center, the TJ Urgent Care, and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
Would you like to choose when you pay your electric bill? With EPB iPay, you can. iPay allows you to draft money into your electric account online or at our office. The myusage.com website lets you keep track of how much electricity you're using and lets you know your current balance. When your account's getting low, you can get reminders to add more money to your electric account by text or email. With iPay, there's no due date, no late fees. Sign up for iPay at the EPB office at 100 Mallory Drive.
Who will be the future?
In more local news, the judge has delayed the trial of a man charged with killing a 7-year-old girl and changed the venue. Judge Janet Crocker ruled Friday the trial for Timothy Madden will be held in Hardin County instead of Allen, and that it won't begin on February 26th as scheduled. Crocker set a hearing on February 13th to discuss a new trial date. Madden faces charges of murder, kidnapping, rape, and sodomy in the November 2015 death of Gabriella Doolin. Doolin was found dead in a wooded area near Allen County Scottsville High School, where a youth football game involving her brother was taking place. Madden's attorney, Travis Locke, has argued the pretrial publicity has prevented Madden from receiving a fair trial in Allen County. And Tennessee health officials say that 3 children have died from the flu. The Department of Health spokesperson Bill Christian said that 2 deaths were recorded in East Tennessee, 1 in Middle Tennessee. And the state typically sees 2 or 3 pediatric flu deaths every flu season, though 15 were recorded back in 2009. Christian said flu activity in the state's widespread, and officials are urging everyone over 6 months old to get a flu shot. Could increasing the cigarette tax by $1 save lives and improve Kentucky's budget woes? That's what the majority of Kentucky voters said in a new poll from the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky. When learning about the specific revenue and health benefits of dollar per pack increase in the cigarette tax, 7 out of 10 voters polled, they said they were in favor. Tanya Chang with the American Heart Association in Kentucky says the increase will lower smoking rates, especially among pregnant women and youth who are most susceptible to the tax increase.
It needs to be a significant increase to offset industry practices around discounting and price promotions. Anything much less than $1, the industry could easily offer coupons and discounts so that individuals would not automatically feel the increase in the tax.
It's estimated a cigarette tax increase of $1 would raise about $250 million annually and prevent some 20,000 kids from picking up the habit. Kentucky has the second highest smoking rate in the country and is ranked 43rd among states for tobacco tax rates. Now, an increased cigarette tax could also help reduce health care costs associated with tobacco use, which Chang says are nearly $2 billion a year in Kentucky.
Out of that, about $589 million is attributed to the Medicaid program. If we are successful in obtaining a $1 increase in the tobacco tax over a 5-year period, we're looking at a savings in Medicaid alone of about $6 million.
Chang notes that support for the increase was across all party lines and regions of the state. The poll found a majority favored the increase as the best way to address the state's $150 million budget deficit, as opposed to increasing the sales tax or applying the sales tax to groceries and other currently non-taxed services. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. 7:21 a.m., 35 degrees.
Future face of Pedigo Lessenberry. Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance. Growing with a proud community since 1902.
And deterrence, and I guess that's what I'm mostly about.
Paul made the comment when being pressed on the motivations of his neighbor that led to that attack. Lexington police are looking for suspects after 3 people were shot Sunday afternoon. 1 person is in serious condition. The others have minor injuries. 2 of the 3 victims are juveniles. Police say they don't have a description of the suspects, and they aren't sure what led to the shooting. A Radcliffe man is behind bars facing a list of sexual assault charges. Kentucky State Police say Robert Jamison raped a girl younger than 12. He allegedly forced himself on the girl at his home, made her watch pornographic material, and at one point showed the victim a gun and threatened to kill her or himself if she told anyone. This neighbor tells WLKY,
He's a monster in disguise.
Investigators said the last time he abused the child was on December 30th. The girl told her mother about the abuse New Year's Day. A Butler County man is behind bars after being caught with a pound of crystal meth. Police arrested Michael Whitsell of Morgantown during a traffic stop in the Fordsville community. An initiative to combat hunger will be unveiled today by Kentucky Ag Commissioner Ryan Quarles. It's designed to create an economic incentive to provide fresh local produce for people in need. The program will be unveiled today at the Kentucky Fruit and Vegetable Conference that's taking place in Lexington. I'm Ed Huckleberry.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Discover Rio's best-kept secret, the wine cellar. This Vegas hidden gem showcases over 10,000 wine bottles from around the world. Chippendales is the ultimate Las Vegas girls' night out, nightly at the Rio, 8:30 and 10:30. Dine, dance, and drink 51 stories above Sin City at Voodoo Rooftop Nightclub. Flair bartenders keep the party going. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Scam artists are preying on seniors' fears that they might lose their Social Security benefits. Hi, I'm Rihanna Smith-Hamblin with the BBB. The letter appears to be from a nonprofit advocacy group and states the Congress is trying to get rid of Social Security and the organization is working against the plan. They are asking seniors to vote to save Social Security, and they need more money to help reach all seniors. The letter requests a donation of $15 to $20. This is a scam. For more, go to bbb.org.
724 WCLU, 35 degrees as we enjoy a little bit of a light coating of rain this morning. We still have the telephone calls of a couple of folks reporting some issues northbound on I-65, but the big issue we have right now is over on the Louisville and Cumberland Parkway at the 33-mile marker. Now, callers on the Star 1490 line let us know that traffic shut down over there in that direction because of that accident. That's in between Edmonton and Columbia in the eastbound lane. So let's just drive with extra caution and make sure that we are going to be getting there safely this morning and plan that in the way that it's shaping up. We might as well go ahead and check in with staff meteorologist Ray Stajic, who's got some information on the morning weather.
Rain in, some of it is freezing in some spots, as temperatures are hovering around freezing this morning. Winter weather advisory to cover up the freezing rain threat until noon. So it's areas of rain and freezing rain this morning, showers this afternoon. Temperatures will hold in the mid to upper 30s. So just extra caution out on the roadways. Little fog, slight chance of showers tonight. We're going to drop it down to near freezing. So any wet road surfaces, and if we do get fog and drizzle, we may end up with a coat of ice early tomorrow morning in some spots too. So just a heads up for the first part of the day tomorrow, then cloudy and well above freezing at 46. Wednesday, fog early, cloudy, highs milder, low 60s. Chance of showers Thursday afternoon, low 60s, rain and upper 40s on Friday, and then colder for the upcoming weekend. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. 35 degrees. We've got about 4/100ths of an inch of rain. It's sloppy out there this morning for sure. We are right on that line at 35 degrees. The big thing is the temperature is going down just a little bit, so you need to be sure and plan some extra moments into your morning commute to get there safely. You need to pace yourself and go just a little bit on the slow side too. 726 WCLU.
Extreme Fitness members are...
Do It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Everyone wants to know when McRib will be back, including Jamie, who shared that you must answer its call.
Jamie, McRib is back. You posted, and we answered.
McRib is back. Answer its call. For a limited time, only at McDonald's.
Nothing comes before coffee.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
That's why we're introducing a whole new line of espresso drinks from McCafe.
Hello.
That'll be $349.07. Sir, I can't take that, and that's only about $120 anyway.
But the Magic Man pays 3 times face value at Glasgow Coin and Jewelry. Watch this.
We can make that happen.
Top dollar guaranteed.
Not to be confused with Magic Mike.
BR Tire.
We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one.
So that deadline on the early bird sign up for the next Travel with Ladine adventure.
The early registration period for the next Travel with Ladine adventure is now through January the 8th, and it's a bus trip that you don't want to miss. Magnolia Market at the Silos in Waco, Texas. You leave March the 6th and spend the night in Little Rock, Arkansas. Then on the morning of the 7th, it's off to Waco, Texas, the home of the stars of HGTV's Fixer Upper, Chip and Joanna Gaines. You'll enjoy the next 2 days in Waco. See Baylor University, Harp Design, and Cameron Park. Thursday, it's a day of exploring at the Magnolia Market. An incredible amount of activities to see and do, from the garden to the Silos Baking Company to the variety of food trucks that are set up. And that's just a taste of what's in store. Ladine is ready to answer your questions now at 270-651-5760. It's worth getting signed up by the early bird deadline of January the 8th to ensure your seat on the trip to Little Rock and Waco. You know it's going to be great because you'll be traveling with Ladine.
Don't forget that the deadline is today, so, make your decision, make that telephone call for sure. We're going to tell you about some of our birthday honorees. We got a bunch of them coming in here on the 8th day of January, so let's hear from the sponsor, Ralphie's Fun Center, and then we'll hear all about our special honorees.
You have 1 hour. That's it.
Outside and didn't like what you see? Or am I the only one who sees the things we could be? If we would make more of an effort, then I think you'd agree that we could.
To take care of you. It is the 40th birthday today, number 40, for Jenny Kate Guy. That's right, Miss Jenny Kate Guy has the 40th gong underway today. Congratulations. We need to tell you about Alex Miller. We had him on earlier, but somebody else called up to say, you better be sure and say he's 44. So, happy 44th birthday, Alex. You got people looking out for you. We have Tommy Bobby Thomas for the birthday. Paul Elmore. Justin Browning. Laura Lee Williams. Tim Coulter. We sounded the 60 gong for Tim last hour. And we also made a note of the fact that he and his aunt Marjorie Palmore share a birthday. Miss Marjorie's 77 today. 77. We have Cassie Harbison, Mary Wilkinson, Deborah Jackson Depp. It's Linda Hayes having a birthday today. Sarah Dickerson Harlow, Malcolm Moss, Dr. Rhonda Underwood, Tanya Moore Harper, Danny Whitlow. It's, let's see, do I have everybody else on there? Got one anniversary to tell you about. It's Cody and Caitlin Hogue. Cody and Caitlin Hogue with a wedding anniversary. I got a lot of notepads here. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online, WCLUradio.com for birthdays and anniversaries. We love sharing here on WCLU.
Citizens First.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. and I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Why the name
I was
Fire?
Just a boy growing up in the 50s. My daddy would sometimes take me with him on some afternoon adventure. Nothing elaborate, just out in the woods or down by the creek. I loved those times. Occasionally, when I wasn't able to go along because he had some particular job to do, I would say as he left, "I wish I could go with you." I wanted more than anything else just to be with him for another adventure. Now, my daddy died in October of 2008. The last few months of his life, he could hardly get around at all. I remember one of the last things he said to me as I was visiting him in the nursing home one Wednesday afternoon. I told him I had to leave and go to church that Wednesday night. And he looked at me and said, "I wish I could go with you." He wanted to go because he knew God would be there in the midst of his people. How committed are you to worship and praise toward God? What will you let stand in your way? Are you just a Sunday morning only worshiper? God will be present on Wednesday night as well. Do we want to go? And the truth is that we'll do whatever we want to have to do and have the capability of doing if we want it badly enough. How strong is your want to? This is Danny White for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Thank you, Danny. I'd like to throw in there, too, that Mr. Grover Wyatt cut a whole lot of folks' hair around here, including mine, for a long time. And as you get the feeling from hearing his son speak, he was a very, very special gentleman indeed.
Why do you choose the pharmacy you use? Is it
Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
Legendary Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good, he'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Well, again, I want to talk about our person of the day. This was another one of those nominated persons of the day. We do appreciate that. In fact, we really enjoy folks who step out and say, this person needs to be patted on the back on this date, and here's why. Today, it is Linda Hayes' birthday, but also Linda was nominated to be a person of the day, and I'm going to read from the nomination form with which Linda was nominated. It reads as follows. This woman is one of a kind. She is unselfish. I was blessed to be adopted and loved by her like I was her own. Boy, that's some strong words to say for Miss Linda Hayes, a very nice lady, and Shavanica is the one who nominated her back in December to be good as gold on this date, and that's the way it works there, Shavanica. We appreciate that. A lot of these things we just don't always know, and so we kind of have to know in order to share some of the good news. And that was certainly some good news for sure. And happy birthday to Linda Hayes as well today.
from the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
From around the world and up the street, it's Tidbit News here this morning on WCLU, where we share a few things, and it's been kind of busy over here. It's kind of a slow day in the Tidbit News department. Not as slow as it is over there, though, right? Are you talking to me? No, you're not talking to me.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so what we have here today, a couple of things in the world of Tidbit News, just to take a look at some of the things that have happened here to talk about. This is out of Mississippi this morning.
All right, MISSI.
A 99-year-old hunter in Mississippi wants to know why people are making a big fuss about her recent kill.
Okay.
It was a doe, after all, not a prized buck. Newspaper down in Mississippi reports that Bertha Vickers used a .243 Winchester rifle to kill a doe recently a few miles from her rural home.
Mm-hmm.
Relatives posted pictures of Ms. Vickers and her kill on Facebook, and people sent messages of congratulations. Ms. Vickers says she doesn't know why everybody is making such a big deal about it, because it was, quote, just a doe, unquote, and not a buck. Tell that to the doe. Miss Vickers lives near the farming community where she grew up in northern Mississippi outside of Starkville. She still mows her own yard and enjoys squirrel hunting, and she turns 100 this week.
Boom.
Which it is, as they say, just a number.
Well, I always admire a woman that can handle a firearm, but if you're 100, add a girl.
That's right. She might keep it with her while she's mowing.
That's the kind you don't want to mess with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't be messing with me.
Yeah. That reminds me of a funny little thing that happened when I was a kid. Mom, the only way to shoot the mistletoe out of a tree is to shoot it out of a tree.
Yeah.
Of course, we did that in Florida. And
yeah.
Mom went out front with the old double barrel side by side.
Took it down.
Bloom. Of course, when the police showed up and started asking questions, and she broke out her Glasgow accent, it became pretty apparent what was going on. So, ma'am, where are you from again?
That's right.
Yeah.
Not from here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go up to Rhode Island here. If you think about this is just, you heard of people that don't have sense to get out of the rain?
Yeah, crazy turkeys.
This is a story that reads as follows. Wintry weather didn't keep a Rhode Island man from driving through town in his topless convertible. WPRI-TV reports the roof on Mr. John Pratt's bright red Mercedes-Benz had been broken for about a month. He tried to get it fixed last Thursday morning, but that's when a massive storm dumped more than a foot of snow in that part of the state.
Yeah.
Things just got worse for him when his chilly open-air ride got stuck. The episode left him and his car covered in snow, and as often happens with these types of things, onlookers took video.
Yeah, yep.
Which then made the rounds on social media. Mr. Pratt blames his son for the broken roof. He says he doesn't mind the trouble because people got a few laughs out of it.
Well,
his boy broke the roof.
That's what I'm saying. Either he broke it and he doesn't want anybody to know, and he's blaming it on the boy.
Yeah,
but I don't. Surely he didn't do that.
Well, I just think it's the.
I'd be guilty of that. But
the old convertible, broken roof.
Well, when
get a foot of snow in it.
The day I asked Melissa to marry me, I was in Cozumel, and we went to rent a Jeep, which you could rent for $22 American or U.S. And as I went over there, of course, you go down a little back alley, and the guy says, sign a little sheet, and hand him the money. He says, hey, don't drink too much tequila, okay, man? Smacks you on the back, and we got about, 10 miles down the road. And, of course, I was planning on asking her to marry me that day. I was nervous as a cat. And we decided to take the top off the Jeep. Well, we rounded the bottom of the island down there. It's only 13 miles all the way around it, And, it did one of those, afternoon Florida, Gulf of Mexico type, set your clock by the thunderstorm things.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the day I was going to ask her to marry me, so I wasn't winning too many points right off the bat.
Well, you couldn't help that. That was Mother Nature's problem.
Well, it could have been, I guess, a little bit more observant. But as we rounded the turn and I saw that black cloud, I thought, oh my goodness.
Well, you can read all kinds of stuff into that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah.
And that's what we have, though, in the way of tidbit news for today. Just some little things on the news wires that aren't necessarily the headlines, but they're still news.
Mm-hmm. Getting the new year started off right, Bobby Lee Hurt at Hurt Auto Sales has a bunch of nice vehicles to get 2018 rolling and to get you rolling in 2018. Isn't that right, Bobby Lee?
Just got some new ones in. Got a 08 Honda Pilot all-wheel drive, local, loaded with extras, priced at only $10,900. A 2011 Cadillac SRX, super nice, local trade as well, priced at only $13,900.
They're pretty too.
Yes, they are. They're wonderful vehicles. Got a 2010 Ford Ranger, extended cab, two-wheel drive, local, one owner, priced for only $10,900. A 2007 Toyota Sienna, a really nice van, priced to move at just $5,700.
You'll be shocked when you get in that Sienna to see how much room there is.
It's a really good van. Makes someone a really fine vehicle.
Don't let the cold weather scare you because the savings are hot at Hurt Auto Sales, 621 West Main Street in Glasgow.
Just remember, there's no pain when you trade with her.
If you're considering a flu shot immunization this year, you need to get it from the experts. Did you know there are numerous varieties of flu vaccines now available? And do you know which one is the best choice for you at this time in your life? At Van Healthcare, we have 4 varieties of vaccines. We have the new quadrivalent variety, the over 65 variety, and the preservative-free variety for those who might be allergic to an ingredient in some of the flu vaccines. When you don't have all the answers to what you need for the immunization against flu, trust someone who knows. Van Healthcare.
744 WCLU. We always appreciate our sponsors who help us bring you the morning show, and Mark's got one to tell you about.
That's right. We got the People's Bank. We've been putting a little money. You see there's a little money floating around in there. We've been giving our little piggy something to eat. Stuff the pig. Wasn't that what you said, Henry?
Yeah, feed the pig.
Feed the pig.
Yeah.
So we've been feeding our little People's Bank pig. People's Bank is located down on 605 Happy Valley Road, right next to the Papa John's, the big A-frame building. They're in the back of the Mannion, the old Mannion Insurance Building. Actually building a new facility. I got to hang out with them a little bit last week. Little drone flying around out there in the coldness, and got some big things coming up down at People's Bank. You can stop down there and get you a little piggy bank if you open a savings account.
And it's a green bank too, which will it'll remind you to put the green in it.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Citizens First Mobile Banking makes your nearest branch as close as your mobile phone. It's easier than ever to access your accounts, check your balances, review transactions, and make transfers. You can even pay bills, and now you can deposit a check right from your smartphone, anytime, anywhere. If your phone is ever lost or stolen, your mobile banking tools are safely locked behind strong security. Just visit citizensfirstbank.com and learn how to take care of your accounts on the go. Mobile banking with Citizens First, wherever you are, whenever you need it.
Approval required for mobile deposit. Visit your Citizens First branch for details. Member FDIC.
Coming up, the live and local 8 o'clock morning edition here on WCLU.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead.